Hey there guys, it's your good pal Wiggly, and welcome back to more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Blind. In the last episode, we did the first half of what I presume is the final trial of the case, getting Armstrong to admit that Furio Tigre was there in the restaurant that night. And in this episode, we're going to be continuing on to Part 4-2, the second half of this trial. Presumably, if Godot was actually able to get him in 30 seconds, which, or sorry, not 30 seconds, 30 minutes, which I actually believe that he could, he actually did manage to get Furio Tigre here. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. Yeah, but I mean, two people saying there was another person there is a lot better than it was just one, and that would be the culprit, so, or rather the defendant. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Really. Hey, Prowl! Hey, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumping about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot. Calm down, man. What's wrong? It's not a top knot. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, all right? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Aw. Gumshoe's a dog. IRL. For real. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. Yes, absolutely. Analyze the prints on the bottle, please. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But, Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Interesting, we have to present a piece of evidence beforehand. Okay. Well, the only thing that we don't have very clear prints on that we need very clear prints on is right here, the small bottle with unidentified fingerprints. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty important deal. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Okay. Thanks, man. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. True. Let's go get him, Tiger. Haha. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. I love Godot. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. And there he is. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Ah! Oh, poor Maya. Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there is room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What do you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that the fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge and in Wiggly? That's crazy. I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Come on. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. Kangaroo court, here we go again. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe yous didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Whenever this fucking song comes in, it just makes everything he says so much more goofy and impactful. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You was gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. The weird dialogue in this game strikes again. Get a grip, Nick. She says from under the table. I love that there are 3 people standing in this courtroom right now. I like to imagine that the, I don't know what to call it, an audience or what. I imagine that they're all hiding too. I don't know nothing about no moida. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi, just ask Violetta. Okay. Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. I can't do a roar. My voice is still recovering from last episode. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that the guy in blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Damn, he called me the fuck out. Well, lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you're gonna borrow the cash from me. What? That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Huh. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system? Why? No. We're not fucking doing this again, bro. You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Fuck you. Ah. Okay, fine. We did it last case 3 as well. Why not? Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it. Nick Maya's still under the table. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay. Have to think real hard here. I don't know nothing about no murder. Okay, well, we're not going to get anything out of pressing that, I don't think. I was tied up with a business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. Not true. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. That could very well be true. You just want to check my alibi, just ask Violetta. We could press on that to establish who Violetta is. And also, it wouldn't be irrelevant because it's his alibi, but also... December last year, spent all your time in your office. I can prove that that's not true. So, we'll go ahead and press that. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything on my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. It says mainly. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important and what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? Again, I have evidence actually relating to that. We have the The calendar, right? Yeah, December 3rd, it says meet with the tiger. So, let's go ahead and press harder. Mr. Tigre, what yous want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. He's not even that scary, though I guess maybe if I actually heard his voice, he might be. This is a dead end, Wright. You know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I got proof. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks that you add the last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you was talking about, I was into office too. I never saw the kid before. Okay, well, that's an easy gotcha. Fat W. Yeah. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger, and the date, December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Gotcha. I love that he looks just like Phoenix from the back, except super red. Not bad. You was actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Okay. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You was calling me a liar? Is that what you was doing? Ruh-roh? From the judge? Ruh-roh? So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? Why is Godot running the courtroom? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Okay. The victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office 10 to Linda. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint. You hear? Okay. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, Wright. Ugh. You can't just bill me for random shit. Also, we have two people. We have one person who says there was another man there that day, and we have one person that says it was you. So how are you getting off so scot-free here? I ain't no liar, I never met Glenn Elg. Okay. Feels like too simple of a statement to press, I think. It's so cut and dry. And I don't think I actually have any proof that he definitely did. We still haven't really used the sports paper or gone into the virus or anything. December 5th. We haven't used that at all, I don't think. The job listing's not important. Lunch special, don't think that's important. Scooter might be. Sorting through the evidence in my mind here. Jean's loan contract, the testimony, Trabian floor plans, Glenn's autopsy report. Okay. Is there anything... What's all my stuff related to him? Meet with the tiger. This just says that they had a plan. Found at Tender Lender, made of a cardboard and painted to look authentic. I guess this is our smoking gun to prove that he definitely pretended to be me. A computer virus made by Glenn Elk, potentially worth millions of dollars. We don't really have anything to do with that. The matches found in Tender Lender from Tribulations. Okay, that's important. Okay. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. Not pressable, I don't think. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tender Lender. Probably true. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. We don't have any evidence linking Glenn to Tender Lender, other than the virus being there. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint, you hear? Okay, that I can present the matches on that, I think. Yes! Let's go! I'm doing super well at the start here, despite the penalty thing spiking my anxiety super hard. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing under your desk? On your desk, sorry. You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Okay. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? So sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was at the joint that day. But what? But listen good, all right. I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I'm still under the assumption that Violetta was the one that did it. Probably. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. Okay. I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Why is this allowed? Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. God. The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you's paying. Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Not fucking apparently. This is almost the most the most kangaroo this court has been. Like, this is insanely chaotic. The criminal and Godot, a rookie lawyer, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but those two are running the court for some reason. Just because the judge is scared. I was supposed to meet the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. What time? December 3rd. Yeah, we need to know what time. That's very important. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Okay. Again, we can't disprove that unless we know what time you got there. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. Okay, hold on. When did the police show up? Maybe that's not actually as important as I think it is. Because the police showed up at like 2:45 or something, right? I think 2:35. We don't have any evidence pointing about that though, so I do not know. Yeah. Oh god. I definitely need to press on something. I don't think I have anything. Yeah, okay. Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction. Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay? I hate this. I hate when they do this. Kid in the restaurant that afternoon. Okay. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lender at all, then. The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you'd ever see if there was any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Tribulations. Huh. You're going over old ground again, Trite. Sorry. No, we need to know what time! Ask what time he got there! Oh, come on. You will suck down the penalty, right, and you will like it. Fucking hell. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Okay. I saw one ugly scene. That's irrelevant to press because he tells us right here. Laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I mean, there's... I could ask him now what time it was. I feel like I'm on the wrong track here. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on the way out. I went straight back to my office. Okay. Well, I have the virus that was found in your office. So you definitely took it. But you could easily explain that away by being like, oh, he just gave it to me, whatever. Okay. I don't know, maybe this statement? If the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split? I went straight back to my office. I don't see anything wrong with that, but it still feels like a statement I should press. Laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. We already established that there was a second... Is it concrete enough, though? Have we established enough that there was a second fake killing when he got there? Because he got there when the sirens, but... God. Okay. I'm gonna have to press some of these. I'm not strong enough on any of these. Are you sure you went straight back to your office? You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? Yeah, this is not it. What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. God. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this! The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? Okay. This is so fucking annoying. I hate this. How about a penalty for those two jokers and the garbage they keep coming up with? I agree! Why are they not getting penalized at all? What do you think? He's running out of ways. Okay. There's something. I thought the police sirens were going to be more important. If we could just ask him what time he got there, it would help. Hot already, it was going to be, so I split. I guess? I'm just pressing on random shit. I don't have any real direction. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then. The tiger's a busy cat. Don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. Okay, I didn't get penalized there at least. That's nice. Okay. The only other thing I have is the fact that you took MC Bomber. God, I really hope your fingerprints are on the bottle. Because, like, all of this is mostly irrelevant here. Okay. You had to have walked in pretty far to be able to see him, though. With the wall in the way. There's that, I guess. Okay, the guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. You couldn't have. We've already established that the victim was sitting in the top right seat. You couldn't have seen it from the door. That's it, right? That's gotta be it. Please be it. Yes! Yes! Let's go! You're something of a loan-collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like... Yes, I'm so smart. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. No, you did not. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true! Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. That's right. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Objection. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. We've already been over this, but the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Really? I mean, I guess that makes sense. I didn't actually consider that. You know what? Sure. If Mr. Tigre can look as convincing as me, I guess, to everybody else, then I guess that makes sense. I didn't actually consider that at all. I thought another person would have had to have impersonated, but we can now prove that he's known for impersonating me. So, that will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elk, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Mr. Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. It had to have been Tigre. 100% it had to have been Tigre. And then Viola was the maid that Kudo saw. So, obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot! Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see the victim. Oh, no. Just the victim. The serving girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into that coffee. No, he didn't. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Gateau. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last, Wright. It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show, and he's already admitted to knowing a Violetta. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Ms. Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? I've had this figured out for a while. This thought crossed my mind a long time ago, even before I even considered there being a real second killing or whatever. It's the only other person that would fit the bill. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. We've had worse. We've had to kill her on our ass. You're nothing. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had kind of a cackling laugh. Fits the bill. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Ms. Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And, Mr. Fudio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime is you. What do you say to that? Gra, I'm guessing. Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's all right. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Yous got it all wrapped up nice, huh? Right. But yous missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. You've already lied twice, so your testimony sucks, but we don't play that game. But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous hear. What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Even the judge is like, really, dude? You've lied twice. Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you just one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Okay. Come on, man. Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Okay. No, I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. Elk was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time, so I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. Yes, you do. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? I already know it. Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That's true. Don't need to press that. He was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date. See, probably correct. He tells me he's got no way to pay up. He definitely did have a plan. He 100% had a plan to pay you back. About to flatten the guy when he starts screaming, yes, I won $500,000. He got real lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she had done, everything would have been over. It's gotta be he's got no way to pay up. Let's press. How much did he have left on his debt? You want it in round figures? About $100,000. That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. What? You was telling me he wasn't even going to pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elk. That guy was smooth, I tells you. Real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. That's what he says to me. Okay. The guy then calls me the Tender Tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. Okay. Okay. He definitely did have a way to pay up, though. We have proof right here. Right? Nope, that's too flimsy. Okay. Your Honor, that statement contradicts the evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Objection denied. Oh, god damn it. Okay. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. Do I present MC Bomber on this statement? Potentially worth millions of dollars. Right there. No? Oh my god, I'm so close yet so far. Witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. Okay. Fuck. Fuck, I'm so close. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. That waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Oh god, I can't afford to mess up here, man. Fuck. Oh god, what do I do? Flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. That waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Okay, well... You're admitting to killing him right there, and having a motive. I guess? I don't know. Let's press on it, I guess? I don't know. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. I mean... Your statement is contradictory. You're literally saying you were gonna flatten the guy, even though you already knew he won $500,000. So, what do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect on what you just said, okay? The tiger's motive, huh? Okay, so he wasn't saying it would have been over as in he would have flattened him. He's saying it would have been done because I would have gotten my money back. Okay. I was after $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Not true. MC Bomber. Yeah, okay. There we go. I was right. I was just a little ahead of the curve. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. L owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. Objection. What are you getting at, Trite? What else could a moneylender be after other than money? No, he was after money. Oh, the moneylender was after money. Same wavelength, but the money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. Yeah. That's right, asshole. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do, of course? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? Fuck off, Judge. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. And it was just used on the police station, I think. So several $1 million. Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay his money is crucial. What? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Objection! You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program. Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he's by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. I'm a little lost, personally, but we'll figure it out. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need the money to the tune of $1 million? Oh, actually, hold on. We know why. We know why. I got it. Where is the $1 million bill for cranial surgery on Viola? Viola, sorry. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in questioning. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. How someone should sue those HMOs. I mean, yeah, probably. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Yeah. Oh, order! 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 You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. Ironic, huh? On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kid, the kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. The lender's in debt, so he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. He never lied. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. No, he wasn't. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order! Order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom! You's put on a good show, Spiky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took on one more precaution. Yep. One more trick to make sure Ms. Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Finally, we can use this evidence right here. What? And? What's the relevance of that, Trite? It's, just a little intro. An intro to what? Come on! Really? Really? That's literally what he did, though. Am I supposed to present the badge instead? Intro to what? It seems all this has been an elaborate trick on the part of the defense. Fuck off! No! Why was that not good enough? You gotta be kidding me. That sucks. And it took all 4 of my bars away? Really? Come on. That is the worst feeling loss I have had so far. I have literally the right thing, and I presented something that is relevant to that. Please, dude, come on. Okay, we're back, and also, it takes exactly 4 bars away. That's so sad. Oh my god. Okay, so it must be the paper badge then, right? What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Okay. I think that it is... I'm not going to let it affect my opinion too much, but I think that it is very, very goofy that I can't use the magazine clipping to lead into, like, oh, he framed me, and then use the badge to prove it, because it is very directly tied to that. I'm still a bit salty about that, but I'm not going to let it ruin things too bad for me. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you pose as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? I can't believe it. This whole case happened just because the people in court were stupid. No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Yeah, take the stand, Judge. Hey, forget about it, yeah? Oh, look at him. I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was a witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. Oh, come on, man. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn Elg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Ah! Oh, man. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You hear that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence, come on, Gumshoe. Come on, man, now's the time. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. And hold it. Yeah, let's go. Your Honor, sir. Yeah! It's like a carbon copy of the Von Karma entrance. Wait! Detective Gumshoe! Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Come on. Tell me it was his fingerprints, man. January 8th, 2:48 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results back from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so? Do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So? Tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Let's go. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. All we proved is that he got the medicine out of the bag, though. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elg's coffee. Okay. Did he not put it in the coffee? Wait, hold on. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, brain was turning. I'm guessing. I'll let it play out. I'm pretty sure I have it figured out. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. It does, though. I know it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never going to use... Don't say that, man. Come on. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This is our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Don't... Gumshoe, man. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Oh. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. I got it, Nick. Come on. Let me back in there. Come on.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
I granted you a recess just so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are yous gonna waste? I've been to no court before.
But yous lawyers should know how to blow things out of proportion. You have been to court before, but okay.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Okay. Let's go. This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victim's...
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre.
What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Really?
My print on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
Ah, okay. A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. This is how we're going there. Okay. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... Let's tell him it's the cyanide. This is such a bluff. Holy shit. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. I'm surprised Godot's not interrupting, man. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that.
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to this stick. You just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? Damn it.
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash, it don't look nothing like it.
And he admitted it. Get fucked, Tiger. What an idiot. Got him. At last.
What? Why is everyone going quiet? I said that bottle...
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in.
What a fucking dumbass.
But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
You don't know who you's messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. So I'm guessing what he did was replace the ear medication. Well, wait, no. Never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god. I came all this way on a wrong conclusion. Holy shit. It's ear medicine. I thought he switched the medicines and, he dissolved it in his coffee, but it's fucking ear medicine. I forgot. No, dude, I'm so dumb, but I got here anyway. Just like Phoenix, I fucking bluffed my way through. God damn it. I was like, he dissolves his medicine in his coffee. I can't believe it. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Grrr.
That's still such a satisfying takedown, though. What? What's going on? It looks like a blackout.
Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
Savor it.
While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Well, we did it. Even if I was very messy in doing so.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe.
But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Shut the fuck up.
Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Ms. Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is truly a frightening criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godot.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird,
not guilty! Let's go! I did pretty bad in these trials, I think, at least compared to before, but hey, we made it through.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh, another one down. January 8th, 4:10 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. No problem, Maggie. Congratulations, Maggie. Don't do this again, though, please. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Get back here. Wait. Come on, man. Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony, then? Huh? Oh, well, Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Don't leave it like this, Gumshoe. Come on, man. Get back here. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Ugh. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya is right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. I thought I might have done it. Or he thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. And I know just the way. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Even though she doesn't like him, that's the point of the second lunchbox. That's so cute. Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know. Of course you do. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Absolutely. Go for it. Aw, that's so cute. So, how is it, Maggie? Oh, man, I'm tearing up. Fuck. Oh, no. It's really good. Come on, man. That's adorable. So the case of the false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. I hope so. And I hope she has a little more luck in her life. Please. Please, Maggie, don't get in trouble again. But come back, regardless. That was fun. That was a good time. All right, Edgeworth! Hello. Turnabout Beginnings. You look much different. You got a redesign. Okay. Well, that was Recipe for Turnabout. You know what time it is? It is tier list time. I decided to make a couple changes to the tier list before we actually place this thing. I felt like the good category was getting a little bit cramped, so I split the good category into good and very good, which is still below great. I just wanted to have like 2 tiers of all these cases, because having cases like Turnabout Samurai and also Turnabout Memories being in the same layer didn't really feel right to me. Also, I decided to be a little bit more harsh with how I judged some previous cases, and I rethought my placement, and everything is still in the same place, roughly. But I decided to move case 2-1 down to okay. I think I was kind of just wowed by the return of Maya and also Maggie being fun, but I don't really think it does anything like super stellar, and I think I decided to move it down, even though I do like the case a decent amount. I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but it is time to place Recipe for Turnabout. I think that it deserves, personally, to be in the very good tier, below case 1-2, in my opinion. Not like great. So still, all three of the third cases are kind of still in a group, if you look at it that way. But I think that it is definitely, in my opinion, the best third case in these games. And in fact, I am putting it in the very good tier, mostly because of the fact that it is pretty much, save the one weird evidence thing that I ran into here at the end, which I may be overblowing. I think that it is pretty much exactly what I would want from a kind of fillery, fun, lighthearted third case of these games. I like it a lot. The actual murder, the way it was carried out and the way it played out, I didn't really have any big, strong problems with it. I think maybe they overload you with evidence a little bit, just some things that keep it from going into the great tier. I imagine that this case's cast may kind of put people off a little bit, because it is a very, very strange cast of like a wild group of people. Like we had Lisa Basil, we had, Tigre, Armstrong, all of these people fucking in this melting pot of a case. And I really like that, actually, because it really makes the Phoenix Wright world feel more connected to me, if that makes sense, because before, it's kind of been just like, oh, we're kind of in this pocket of this world. Like, oh, we're dealing with stars now, so everybody, being here has to be like an actor or related to the film industry. But this case, it was just, it happened. All these random-ass people happened to be connected with completely separate lives, and I think that is super cool. I really like Viola Cadaverini a lot. She had a fun thing. I like all three of the witnesses, actually. I don't love Armstrong, but I think that he was fun enough. Tigre is a pretty fun culprit. I like that they make it immediately obvious that he's the person, but you still have to figure it out. It's such a lighthearted, fun case. The humor was good. I like this case a lot, man. Again, also some things like them tying it back to the coffee murder that happened in case 3-1, or was mentioned. It didn't happen there, but them being able to tie it back that way is really cool. I have been informed that this case was supposed to be in Justice for All, which is interesting. I'm not sure how that would have played out, because they did a good job making this case feel like it was made for this game specifically. Even if them being so scared of Tigre is kind of weird, considering The Killer has happened before this. That's the only part where I can be like, yeah, I can see that having happened before that case. But in general, I don't have a whole lot negative to say about this case. There's just a couple sticking points, and it obviously can't compete with all the cases that are super tied with, up there at the top, being very integral to the overall plot, because this is still a third case in a game. But if there are more third cases that follow this kind of pattern and structure, I hope that they are half as good and half as fun as this case was. That's how I feel about this case, and I'm excited to play the rest. I am going to be taking a break on the channel for a little while, just because I've been uploading for about 3 months straight of daily uploads, and I need a break for a while. But I will be recording all of the rest of this game, whether episode 4 is the final case or not. There could be a 5th. I don't know. I will be recording that all on my own, just because I really want to make sure that for the end of the trilogy, I can't be spoiled or swayed by anybody. I hope you guys understand. So when this comes back, there will be no more breaks, and we will be full throttle to the end. Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Blind. I've been Guildmaster Wiggly. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you want to follow my socials or join my Discord, they're in the description. And I hope to see you all next time with Case for Turnabout Beginnings.